G'day mate and welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. We have spent the last couple of episodes working on science, just making sure it can go as fast as we could possibly get it to go. Today, we need to look at our bottlenecks. Our current bottlenecks for science, it turns out, seems to be gleba science. Most of the other sciences tend to work fairly well, obviously red, green, military, blue, purple, yellow, and of course white science. They're all Nava sciences. Well, technically white science is on a spaceship because we're making legendary, but the point stands. They're all very, very good sciences. They're doing very well. Of course, the volcanist science, it works very, very well. After the last video where we sort of made a dedicated science assembly that makes 750 per second or something ridiculous, and then caches, there's no buffer, so the ship needs to arrive, it needs to sit in orbit, it needs to load up, and then it needs to fly back to Navas and drop the whole lot off. Fulgora science is obviously waiting on the ship to get fully loaded and head back. Quillo science, but as you can see from our little science graph, the gleba science is doing the absolute worst. So we've come to gleba to look at gleba. But before I look at gleba, I actually want to look at research itself. As you can see, we're chewing through mining productivity right at the moment because I just wanted something to do. And each level of mining productivity is, I don't know, do 20 seconds, and it's, 175,000 for this one. We're doing science at about 500,000 per minute, roughly. We're doing all right. There's a couple of things I want to look at in science. Okay, next one's 20 seconds. Yeah, it's sort of blitzing by. All right, first thing I want to look at, not mining productivity. I want to do low density structures. Why do I want to do low density structures? Because we're about to do from 240 to 250% productivity. Once I hit 250% productivity, that means as long as I'm using a foundry to make the low density structures, I don't need any any productivity modules. So it means I can just put in speed modules, whatever I decide. I can even put in efficiency modules and save myself a little bit of power to just make low density structures. So I definitely want to have that one at the top of my list. Second science I really want to look at is rocket parts. Rocket parts down here, we're about to go from 220 to 230. Now at 225, that is, 25%. 25% is equivalent to one legendary productivity module. So I would really like to get to the 230. At 230, I can pull out of every single rocket silo one single prod mod and replace it with a speed module. What does that do for me? It means I can't quite get rid of all the beacons, but I can definitely get rid of a good portion of the beacons. Because the speed module in the actual silo itself is way more effective than a beacon sitting outside. So I'd really love to do that one. On top of that, there are a couple of other ones I want to look at. Next one I want to look at is blue circuits. Blue circuits, I've already done productivity 250%, which means as long as we're using an EM plant to make the blue circuits, it means I actually don't need any productivity modules in the actual building, and they can be replaced with, I don't know, speed modules to make the whole thing go faster, or even quality modules. We do have our legendary blue circuit section that is, of course, on Fagola, and I've already taken the liberty of upgrading every single one of those to be nothing but quality modules. So rather than making blue circuits, making sure we're hitting that 300% productivity by using productivity modules, we're swapped out with quality modules, so we're making higher quality blue circuits to start with, then we're recycling those blue circuits to get higher quality components to put in the next tier of blue circuits, which we're also upcycling with quality modules to then recycle those parts to, again, process through the chain to get to legendary blue circuits. So that one I don't have to worry about too much. But I do need to still worry about, of course, scrap recycling. Scrap recycling is still high on the list. We're at 260. I'd really like to get, 270 unlocked, 280 unlocked, 290 unlocked, and then 300. It's a little bit expensive to get to 300, but it's definitely high on my list. Also, technically, electrical weapon damage, not that I care, but I also could definitely do with, at any chance I possibly could, faster worker robot speed. Next one I need to talk about is, of course, plastic. Plastic, the productivity is only at 160%, but if we're using a cryogenics plant, which has 8 slots, I can get 200% productivity. We've already been able to remove, one module from the buildings, and now a second one after we've got over 150%. If I get 2 more levels of this, so from 160 to 170 to 180, I can remove yet another productivity module from every single cryogenics plant and replace it with more speed, more efficiency, whatever it happens to be. The other one I also want to look at is, of course, asteroid productivity. Asteroid productivity, productivity is only 170%, and unfortunately, in a crusher, you can only put in 2 productivity modules. So that means via the productivity modules, I can only get 50% productivity, which really means I need to get this all the way up to 250. And that would be 170, 80, 190, 200, 210, and we're already up to 5 million research, which is a little bit expensive, but it's definitely something I need to get on my list. The other one is, of course, rocket fuel. Rocket fuel is still very, very cheap. We're at 140. If I can get myself to, what is it? A normal assembler can have 4 modules, so I need to get to 200%. So I need to get 6 more researchers here. This one I'd probably like to do because, of course, Vulcanus is, of course, launching a lot of rockets, and every single one of those using a lot of rocket fuel. So I'd like to get that one done as well. There are big researchers I really want to get through. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Second thing I want to talk about is ships. We have, we have a number of ships, an awful lot of ships in our list. And there's a couple of ships that I've decided I don't really need anymore. First off, we have the Vulcanus platform. The Vulcanus platform was sitting at Vulcanus. Fagora platform. Fagora platform was sitting above Fagora, and it was mainly making, iron, copper, and calcite. They were the really big things it was making to drop down to the planet. Also, it was technically making a little bit of sulfur, so we can make sulfuric acid the easy way. This was really the main things it was making by just sitting in orbit and, processing those items, dropping them down the planet, and that way I could very easily make copper plates. Not that I really needed them. I could more easily make concrete via the foundry by using the iron and the calcite. And, I have Big Bones. Big Bones is doing a loop of all the planets, and he is now transporting both iron and copper, also calcite, so I don't need this platform anymore. And I have, this wonderful auto trash list that if I do this, should pack up the whole ship. Should. Any second now. Come on, Spacebot, get to work. I think it might be because you have things in here. No. It might need to finish. Oh, there we go. There we go. Should auto pack up the ship, auto put it all into storage, and also automatically fire it all down to Narvis. I don't know if that's on the list. On the list. Cool. Add that to the list, please. Yeah, should just pack the whole ship up and drop it down to Narvis, so once it's done, I can come back here and just click delete on the platform. Are they in the list? They're also not on the list. Is that on the list? That's not on the list. Okay, and are they on the list? They are now. Cool. It's a special little all the things I've had to deconstruct previously. I've just put them all on a list and, we can now pack up a platform very quickly. So I don't need to have the Fagora space platform anymore. You can definitely go away. All right, on top of that, I have a Narvis platform. It was doing something very similar. It was mainly dealing with calcite, all the calcite, and it was making us calcite. We were also shipping that in, and frankly, I don't need this platform either. So we're going to turn on the auto trash list, and in theory, I think you need to do one last launch before you start scrapping or self-scrapping yourself. In theory, I can get rid of this one as well. Big Bones is already traveling around calcite, plus I have a dedicated calcite ship for Narvis that I might be able to get rid of. I'm not sure, but definitely can scrap this one as well. Of course, then we have the Vulcanus platform. Vulcanus platform was making us carbon. Now that we've actually swapped across to an EM plant and I'm making carbon that way, again, I don't need this ship either. So you can also be trashed and dropped down to the planet. So that's at least 3 ships got rid of. Space platform, one for our, wonderful mold. We were sending this guy out to pick up 14,000 moldy science, and he got replaced with a speedy ship. The speedy ship is fast enough, he's only picking up half as much science, but is doing it twice the speed. So it's coming in a whole lot fresher than it was previously. It's also a very, very tiny ship, so yeah, I don't need this guy either. So we're going to also scrap him. And he should... They're doing a very bad job of... He launched something. They're doing a pretty bad job of just packing themselves up. Okay, next one I need to talk about is we had a dedicated ship that was going from Gleba across to Vulcanus, carrying both plastic and rocket fuel. Because we now have higher mining productivity, along with that, we have, the legendary productivity modules and also legendary refineries, legendary chemical plants, legendary assemblers. We're actually making our own. And of course, I've maxed out the productivity on plastic. We're actually no longer shipping in the plastic and the rocket fuel. We're just making them directly on Vulcanus. Like I said, I still want to get a little bit more productivity into the rocket fuel done and researched. But again, I don't need this ship anymore. So again, that's one more ship that we can just pack up, get rid of, and he can disappear. All right, next one I want to talk about is, well, of course, our Vulcanist science. As we built a new Vulcanist research, I need to actually have the ship in orbit for it to collect science. So if it's not in orbit, we can't buffer the science. So I decided to make our speedy ship a little bit of a shorter ship, a little bit of a faster ship, but also can head out there and pick up 500,000 science at once. So same story, I don't need this ship. It was only picking up 300,000, this ship can pick up a whole lot more. So again, I can just remove this whole ship as well, and it should get auto trash in good time. Can I go to you? You are definitely dead. Cool. Delete. And you are, well, getting there from the looks of it. You are dead. We can get rid of you. You have already been packed up. I can live without that much space platform. You can go away. Cool. You are in the process of being packed up, and as you can see, everything just gets shoved into the hub and launched down at high speed. Wonderful, wonderful little deconstruction list. If you're interested, I do share my blueprints on Patreon. It's one of the things I do to those that financially support the channel. You can always head over to Patreon if you want to get a copy of my blueprints, or you don't want a copy of my blueprints, you just want to support the channel and support the work I do here, by all means, you can head over to Patreon as well. But that's that ship gone as well. Now I'm curious, are you done? You're done. Cool, yeah, you can go away. All right, next one I need to talk about is batteries. We were taking batteries from Vulcanus and shipping them across to Fagola to, well, facilitate the Fagolan science. I don't need to do that anymore. Now I have an updated blueprint. The updated blueprint is very, very good at, well, saving a whole lot of batteries. Now, I am still shipping across accumulators, which you might say, but JD, they come from batteries as well. They do. But we're shipping across an awful lot of them, and I don't think I have enough batteries currently on the Fagola blueprint, the Fagola trash recycling, to, well, make those as well. I don't think I have enough iron, so we can also trash this ship. So that's another ship gone, it's another ship wasted, and delete that, delete that. Yeah, I don't know what the story is, why it takes so long. Normally it just, boom, gone. Anyway, so that's a couple of ships removed. Next one I want to talk about is the transport cube, this one here. So the transport cube, a little bit of an odd ship, is doing a couple of things. It's flying to and from Aquilo, and it's taking out, well, tungsten plate, also the helium plate, and the superconductors, and also carbon fiber. Carbon fiber we need for the quantum processors, which I don't actually need anymore because we're not making quantum processors on Aquilo anymore. We have, where are you? A dedicated ship that flies around and makes the quantum processors for us, and then can drop the quantum processors at other planets like Aquilo. You are also picking up superconductors. Superconductors go into the fusion reactors and the fusion generators, and they also go into the cryogenic plants and, of course, the railguns. They're pretty important. The helium plate is actually the main ingredient in lithium to get us lithium plate. So this is very, very important as well. Hence, we're flying this out 20,000 at a time to make sure that we can make our lithium plate. Last one is, of course, tungsten plate. Tungsten plate, again, goes into the fusion reactor, the fusion generator, and into the railgun. So again, that's a very, very important one. Yeah, carbon fiber goes in the railgun, of course. So, yeah, except he was also picking up science. He was picking up quantum processors to drop at Narvis. Don't need that anymore. And he's also picking up the cryogenic plants. But again, I have the big bone ship that is set somewhere in here to pick up cryogenic plants as well. So I actually don't need you to do anything but pick up science. The good news is I've already set up a rocket version of the speedy ship. It's a little bit longer. It has to fit in a few more items, but this guy makes rockets. So he's going to be heading out to Aquilo to pick up science, an awful lot of science, 500,000 at a time. On top of that, he has a little bit of a different route because he's going to pick up all the other items. So he's going to drop off the science, then he's going to head to gleba to go pick up the carbon fiber, then out to Aquilo to pick up the science. Then after he drops the science back off, he's going to stop at Fagola on the way to pick up the helium plate. Then, of course, he's going to drop off the science. And then after he, pick up the science and then drop off the science. And then on the next trip out, he's going to pick up the tungsten plate to then go pick up the science to then drop the science off. It's a little bit of a longer route. I do think I need to set these probably a little bit higher, like 15,000 each. You might need to be 30 because, that's going to go into every piece of lithium, and 15,000. It needs to be a little bit higher, but we're going to send you... How much do you have to pick up? You have none currently. Wow. That can't be good. Also, I should mention that we also need to ship low density structures and blue circuits out to Aquilo. That one should now be covered by big bones. And if you're dead and don't have any science on you, you can just head home, and I'm going to send the rocket speedy out in your place. And then, of course, when the ice cube drags its way all the way back to Narvis at the incredible high speed of, I think it can hit just over 200. It's not terribly fast, whereas you are already taken off and you're already up to 480. Yeah. You're going to go up to 505 in just a second after you pass the halfway point. Yeah, there's a bit of a speed difference. Can you also go away, please? All right. So we've got rid of a whole lot of ships. We replaced a whole lot of things, and that means we can finally deal with gleba and gleba science. But there's another thing I'd really like to look at. Just something minor. You know, as I mentioned, we mentioned cryogenic plants, we mentioned the fusion reactors, and we also mentioned the railguns. I'd really like all those in legendary. So I think, rather than hang around this planet, we might just jump in the closest rocket silo, and you just took off. Can I just jump onto Big Bones? I actually should take the rocket speedy. Well, too late. We're going to jump on Big Bones. We're going to head over to Aquilo, and the only other thing I'm going to do whilst I'm here is I'm just going to drag the almighty upgrade planner over. Well, actually, let's start up there and work our way backward. Over, well, that. Yeah, that should keep Aquilo busy for a little while doing a few things. Can I also turn on this? Cool. And I'm going to see you on Aquilo, because I would really like to get legendary helium running, along with legendary cryoplants, legendary fusion reactors, and legendary railguns. So I'm going to go for a trip. Whilst I go for a trip, I need to ask you that very important question. Of course, that very important question being, can I borrow a lac? I just like to borrow a lac. I like to borrow a lac early in the video. Not happy with the video, didn't enjoy the video. Well, then of course, I'm not going to show you any of my legendary goodies. Now we're here on Aquilo, I want to work on the most important things first, and I think that is railguns. I would really like to make railguns in, well, every possible quality I can. Currently we have a whole box full of, well, all sorts of different quality rails, but I would prefer just, well, legendary. The advantage of legendary is more hit points. That's probably important if you're going to be promethium hunting, which we are currently doing, but I'd probably like to do a little bit faster. Also, more range. More range means I can shoot more rocks further away. So, yes, as they're railgun bullets and they go through everything, that's probably going to be helpful. So, what I want to do is I want to set up brute force recycling, because that's exactly what we're going to be doing to start with. Can I put you here, rotate you around? All right. And can I downgrade this machine? I don't need this machine to run any faster than basic speed. All right. You are going to be outputting rails in uncommon. Cool. Step number 1. Step number 2 is I want you to bring in items from a buffer chest that we're going to put up here and then insert it there. Of course, the insert is going to be frozen, but we can probably solve that with a bunch of heat pipes. All right. Next thing I want to do is I want to request in these items. Now, it's going to automatically set the request to be, well, 60 seconds worth of crafting time. And you might notice I'm going to have a few problems getting some of these items in, mainly the quantum processors, because I don't really have them in different qualities, but we're going to solve that one problem at a time. All right, I want to, well, first off, I want to do trash unrequested, and I also want to set these request groups up to be, well, 3 times the original number. So you're going to be 600, 600 please, you're going to be 150-ish, oh no, 3 times the number, 250-ish, and you're going to be, just 1200. 1200 should do. Okay, to make sure that the chest doesn't overflow, just in case. And then how the chest is going to overflow? Well, the chest is going to overflow with a recycler, which I'm definitely going to be filling with well, just a module or 2. Now, I need to get into that particular recycler, something for it to recycle. And the item I want it to recycle is going to be railguns. So I want you to recycle normal quality railguns. If I have more than, say 50, yep. And then we're going to start requesting normal railguns in here. Where are we? That one. And 10? Sure, we can bring in 10 at a time. And can I put a heat pipe? There. Cool. That's going to be step number 1. Step number 2 is obviously on an output. We're going to put the output right here. And you're going to start recycling. Now, if I end up with anything of a different quality, i.e. normal quality, uncommon quality, no, uncommon should stay, rare quality, epic quality, or even legendary quality, that's going to get auto-trashed. And if I go above the higher limit we have here, so like 600 for the superconductors, well, that'll also get trashed. This is going to be very bad for the robots, but then again, I have legendary robots, legendary reports. I'm pretty confident they'll work it out. All right, so with our first one done, I want to put a second one here. I got to look at heating every time, so we should be able to put you there. Okay, you again need an output, so we're going to put the output there, and oh, I've already got a rare and an uncommon. You're going to have to go over one tile, and then I can get heat in here. Cool. And you are going to be doing not the uncommon anymore. We're going to go up to rare in this case. We're going to copy... I forgot one thing. I want to put a filter here, and then I can do the exact same over here. All right, over here I want to do uncommon, and of course uncommon. All right, and then can I pick up the chest and put it back? That way any pending deliveries are removed. This is set to 50. But I probably don't want 50. I think 20 is probably heaps. So if I get anything over 20, well, they're going to end up in here. Also, I need to get heat, obviously, into you, which can come in, I guess, that tile. And then I need to set these requests. So these requests, we're just going to roll the mouse button up by 1 to change it from uncommon up to rare. And that should settle the request for that box. All right. Then I want to take the whole thing, and I want to put another one... One tile gap? One tile gap. Yeah, let's have a one tile gap. I can bring heat through there. All right, I need to have an output, just as we did previously. I need to have the pipes done previously. Can I remove that for a second? You're probably going to break something. And then can I put this chest here? This chest here, we're going to go from uncommon up to rare. Rare, look, 10, maybe. And can I change you up to rare as well? Actually, can I change you to... We're going to drop this all the way down. We're going to drop you to 10. We're going to add heat in there. We're going to set this one to 0. I really don't want any. So we're just going to set, if this is above 0, just get rid of them. And you are going to be, I'll let you finish crafting. We're going to roll this up a tile, this up a tile, this up a tile, and this up a tile. So you start bringing epic goods. You're crafting another one. Stop it. Cool. And then can you do epic railguns for me? And I'm going to need to have... does that work for me? Yeah, I should be able to move that pipe to there. You're going to freeze. Okay. Maybe I can't move that pipe to there. All right. In that case, can I just copy and paste the whole thing one last time? And this is where we get to legendary goodness. Okay, legendary goodness is going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to put my request chest here. I need to drag this over and around. Okay, so you are going to be up one more level. So we're going to do epics in here, epics in here. Epics, I'd like to keep, let's say 5. 5 we can keep. All right. At the same time, can I go to you? We're going to roll you up 1, up to the max, and up to the max. You might notice that I already have legendary gear here. In fact, after I change this to legendary, we're probably going to be able to craft a number of them. Can I put you there? And can I have you turn off when we get legendary above, say 50? 50 seems like a pretty good number to me. Right, and can I turn on trash and request to my inventory? So, yes, as I said, you're going to start crafting straight away, because I happen to have, well, 18,000 tungsten plate. I also happen to have almost 2,000 superconductors, and I have a good amount of, the carbon fiber with 5,000 of the quantum processors. Why do I have that? 2 reasons. One, we have the big bone ship. The big bone ship has already been told to go import some of those items. So if we go look at, let's say, Vulcanus and our tungsten plate, as you can see, legendary tungsten plate, it's the 6th most highest item in the network at 110,000 legendary. This little system here works incredibly well at making a whole lot of legendary tungsten plate for us. And then if we go look at, Fagola is where we have our superconductors. Superconductors, we're not doing quite as well. We only have like 1.3, 1.5 thousand. But of course, superconductors go into our quality modules. So if we go look at our quality modules over here, I happen to have 6,000 of them, which means this is turned off. We're no longer producing any more quality modules unless I happen to use a whole lot of them So we're no longer using superconductors here. We've already used as many we need to fill up this chest. The last one is a legendary helium plate, and again, well, I have this little thing here that makes EM plants, and it doesn't really make legendary plants, it makes EM plants. It makes, well, normal ones and uncommon ones, and of course, well, the rare ones, and then finally the epic ones. And if I happen to get a legendary one, well, we'll save it. If I don't happen to get a legendary one, well, then we just have the components that are already legendary, we put them in boxes. So I have 12, 24, 36, 40, 50, 57, 61,000 just right here. And again, if you look in the well, total logistics storage, the bottom right hand corner, I have 82,000. So we're pretty good when it comes to legendary helium plate, which is important because it makes legendary lithium plate. So we should be good on those items. And of course, I also have, well, our wonderful ship that's making all those quantum processors, which has 2 caps on it, actually. It has one cap up here that says, if I've made over 15,000 of the quantum processors, stop outputting the goodies. So once we have 15,000 in storage, just stop outputting the goodies, and we can save those goodies. On top of that, there's a second failsafe down here that says, if I have over 20,000 of the quantum processors in storage, then we're going to release this particular belt and let the quantum processors, well, pass straight through. Because eventually, especially if you pull out the beacons around here and replace these guys with quality modules, or some of these guys with quality modules, which you can do. I have had a number of comments from a couple of people that have said, I really want to put quality modules in some of these machines, which there's nothing stopping you. You just can't have the beacons. So if you want to make the ship a little bit wider so you can fit, well, more machines, because the machines are obviously going to run a whole lot slower because you have quality in there, not speed, and also lose out the productivity, you have a second failsafe, because occasionally they're going to make legendary chips, which are obviously going to, well, get crushed, probably. Yeah, so the second failsafe is, you know, make sure that they can pass through. Actually, technically, you should be set to lower. No. Legendary chips come and they get side-loaded here, and otherwise they go and they get crushed. Yeah, this should be set lower. It should be set to like 10,000 or something. If less than 10,000. Whatever. But this makes a whole lot of legendary components once it's maxed out its legendary chip allocations. So with it being maxed out, it's had a whole lot of spare items that it's decided to dump down on the wonderful Aquilo forest, because at the same time it's actually flying out to Aquilo and picking up, of course, the lithium plate and the fusion power and a whole lot more barrels. And at the same time, Aquilo can, where are we? Aquilo can request the quantum processors, both the normal ones and, of course, the legendary ones. Normal ones go into, well, our fusion reactors, also our fusion generators. In fact, I probably need to change that to like 3,000 because we're going to start mass producing those. And also it needs to, well, pick up the lithium plate from here, and at the same time we can drop off any spare legendary items it has, providing it has some legendary items. So we've got 1. We only had enough materials to make, oh no, that has 4. Oh, less than, yeah, less than. Okay, so we're gonna make a few more of these, and I also want to set you, can I actually copy this one? And I want to give the same orders to this one. So if we get 50 legendary, then we're going to stop making normal ones, which should shut down the whole recycling system. So that's the first thing I want to set up. Second thing I want to set up is pretty much the same thing for a couple of other items. Can I remove just a roboport all 5? All right, can I go and copy... let's start this. Okay, can I flip you? Can I put you here? Because that gives you all the heat pipes. And then I need to bring in a couple of items. So I want to do, in this case, it's going to be, no, I actually want to do the more cryogenic plants first. Okay, and I don't need to do base quality. We can do up 1 quality. All right, so I need you up 1 quality. Thank you. Okay, so I need to bring that into there. That's going to have to bring in some items. I need to set this to about 3 times that. So let's go with just 300 for lazy maths. Okay, so that should be our request into there. On top of that, I want to bring in 1 item, and I also need to bring out 1 item. The item we're going to bring in, actually, I think I want to move those close to one another. So I want to bring that in and put items in here. Items here are going to be baseline cryogenic plants. So there we go. Baseline cryogenic plants. We're going to bring in 20 at a time. And can I? Nope. I want the inserter. I want you connected. I want you to be baseline cryogenic plants. Also filters. Can I filter you? And you're going to be, if you're above, 100. 100 is heaps. Okay. And you just need a little bit of power, which means you need to be legendary. Problem solved. All right. So that's our first one. I do need to run the heat pipes around the outside. And then I want to take basically the whole design, flip it, and put it right here. Okay. And then you are going to be the blue one. I should be able to click this and scroll this up 1 and up 1 and up 1 and up 1. And then I should be able to bring this around here. I need you to be uncommon this time. And you should be uncommon. You should be uncommon. And I have a lot of them in stock, so I'm just going to turn it off. We're just going to keep getting rid of the uncommon ones for as long as I can get rid of the uncommon ones. And then can I take the whole thing and put it right here? And you are going to be... Oh, I should have... I do it automatically. I just leave the quality modules in there. Can I rip those out? And I should be putting... This is something I do to signify to myself that this is the legendary one. Put a single legendary efficiency module in there. Because I'm used to seeing maxed out modules on every building. I don't really want to give it maxed out speed modules because it doesn't need it. But a single efficiency module is fine. It's going to minimize the power usage. So can I set you to be this one in this quality? And then we need to roll the mouse up twice? Twice, yeah, because you're 2 tiers higher than what I was copying and pasting. Okay, so you can go up to there, you can go up to there, you can go up to there, and you can go up to there. I don't want to limit the output on the rares or the epics. We're just going to make as many as we can. I need to change you to be the rare one. Yeah, you need to be the rare one. So we're going to bring in rares. Again, I'm not going to put a limit on this. I do want to have the filter, please, filter, so I can see that I'm doing rares in here. And I just cut the chest off the back. That's the easiest for me. And you've been running long enough, I should be able to just trash what's in there. And then finally, we want to have the legendary version. So I want to do those in legendary. And can I change this one to legendary, legendary, and legendary. And you're going to be bringing in epic, and you're going to be bringing in epic. And then can I just cut this and put it back? All right, epics. I probably want to keep some epics because legendaries are normally pretty hard to make. Epics -3. That's not a good sign. And legendary wise, you're carrying some sort of junk in your hand. I have what's in your hand, and you're probably doing the same. So I have blue circuits. It's not an issue. I have superconductors. It's not really an issue. I have lithium plate currently, so that should be an issue, and also have refined concrete. So I should just be able to make legendary ones outright. So I'm probably going to uncap this, and we're just going to, cap this guy, cryogenic plants in legendary, and if you have less than, say, 50. 50 should be a somewhat reasonable number. Okay, and I'm also going to copy that, and I'm going to put it on this guy. So this is the output of the normal ones, who has 2 chests. He doesn't really need 2 chests. Okay, so yeah, my inventory is very full. It's all right. We'll trash everything bit by bit. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for the cryogenic plants. I should be able to make a couple of legendaries. I ran out of those, but in theory, where are we? In theory, Big Bones Mark 2 should have some more of those on there, so when he completes his next round, we should get another delivery. With that done, can I copy this? And can I paste it? Do I want a tile? I should need the tile to carry heat through. All right. I want to do pretty much the same thing, except this time I want to do it for you guys. So we're going to copy that to there. We're going to change you to be 3 times that amount. So that's 600. 600, and we're just going to go with 800 there. And then I need to copy Find my mouse, copy that to there, that to there, that to there, and that to there. I want to change you from being these items to being fusion reactors, and I have 133. I really only need 20 of them. Okay, 20 normal fusion reactors should be heaps. Can I change you to be fusion reactors? And can I just cut that and remove it? Okay, and then we can leave that one to get to work. You, again, same story. I just need to roll the mouse up by one, and up by one. Here, same story. I need to roll the mouse up by 2 this time. And 2. And where are you? There you go. 2. And then the last one's going to be legendaries only. So we're going to roll all the way to the top, all the way to the top, and all the way to the top. Superconductors are definitely going to be my bottleneck for right now. But with that done, I should be able to copy this to here, and then I can roll you up to uncommon. I can open you up, and we can roll you up uncommon, and I'm going to set this very low. Actually, no, I'm just turn it off. I'm just going to crush them all, because I should be able to make legendary ones reasonably quickly, so we can probably make the jump straight from normal quality directly to legendary. Can I get you swapped to tier 2? Can I get you swapped from there to epic, and there to epic, and I need power. Power is here. Can you become legendary, please? Cool. And then all I need to do is change this recipe to this recipe in rare. You are going to be this recipe epic, and then finally you will be this recipe in legendary. And if I pull those out and I put you in there, we should be good to go. Nope, I need you to be those in legendary. 50's maybe a bit too much, maybe closer to 20. 20 seems like a better number. And nope, I booted you entirely. You, and you. Cool. And you're going to start getting fed items straight away. All right, so with that done, the last one I need to do, which won't fit. Okay. Can I do 2 of you? Okay, you're not meant to have the robot anyway. Can I remove that? Can I remove that? Okay. 2 of you, please. Without the robot. Thank you very much. And you can go here. Is that going to be a problem? It might be a problem that I can't get through this corner. We'll see. All right. You, I need to change you from this recipe to this recipe, which uses the exact same ingredients, which does make my life awfully easy. Can I change you to this one? And we're going to set this to 30. Let's go with 30. And can I also change this from this to this? And we should be good to go. Can I change you from that one to that one in rare? Can I change you from uncommon that to uncommon that? And from you, uncommon that to uncommon that. And you should be ready to go. All right. The last 2, let's just copy this lot again. And you won't fit because the assembler needs to stick out front. Okay. Can I copy 1 of you? And flip you sideways? Not really. Okay. Building can go here. Boxy thing can go here. You need to go here, and your output needs to go here. Can I change you? So you're going to be purple ones. Can I do purple fusion generators? Can I set you to be purple as well? And you can be purple. And again, we're just going to crush all of them. Why? Okay. Can I cut that chest and then put it back, please? And actually, you're not going to be purple. You're going to be blue ones. I change you to be blue that item, and you're going to be blue that item, because we're making the purple ones here. All right. And again, I'm going to have to get heat all the way around. We can just rub heat from there to there. And then hopefully I can take this, put it here, take this, flip it and put it there, and then finally put the output over here. Did I change these requests? I did not. Can you go with, we're purple, so right. Here's the purple body one. So can I take this purple, take this up purple as well. The last guy is going to... he's going to have to move over a tile. For this to move over a tile. For this to move over a tile. Over a tile, please. So then I can get heat into everything. All right. You are going to be the legendary version. So can I get legendary fusion generators? Again, same story. Can I pull all those out? And we out. Oh, and then can I put one of those in? Can I change you from this one to this one? This one to this one, and this one to that one, and then change blue quality for purple quality, please. And just pull the chest up, put it back, and you could be purple as well. All right, we're not going to keep anything when it comes to the generators or the reactors, apart from normal and legendary, I think, because, well, it just doesn't seem worth it. Normal, we're going to keep 20, and yeah, the other ones we're just going to get rid of. I'd just like to skip completely everything in the middle and just go straight to the top. I do need to make sure, yep, you have 2 output chests. I need to remove that. I don't know when you got 2 output chests. You have a single output chest, and that should get us all the core components we need. But if I do a search, if I type in legendary, we can see we have plenty of the quantum processes. I have plenty of refined concrete. Have an all right number of carbon fiber. The tungsten plate shouldn't be an issue. The superconductor is definitely a problem, and I have already had dropped off a little bit, just the tiniest amount of holmium plate, which means in the next episode, I want to look at holmium plate into legendary lithium, legendary holmium plate into legendary lithium into, well, possibly legendary science here on Aquilo, but that's definitely going to have to wait. It's going to have to wait for the next episode. I would like some legendary cryogenic plants to make that happen, because they're going to be just a little bit faster than what we've been using previously. But with all that said and done, I'm going to leave this video here, right here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you on our very next episode with a lot more Aquilo and a lot more of ignoring gleba, who, holy crap, everything I swiped got upgraded pretty much instantly. That's not concerning at all. And LDS is just run out. Yep, we just ran out of science, but it was going to be done in 5 minutes, so it should be done by the next episode with these. Anyway, with all that said and done, as I said, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the very next video. All right, bye.